and welcome to No Movies in Hell. I'm Chris Gagger.
I'm LaCroix Scott, and today we are reviewing Ridley Scott's Gladiator 2.
Your favorite, Paul Mescal.
Oh my gosh, my favorite.
And Pedro Pascal.
Yes, Pedro, yes.
And
Paul,
the guy from Stranger Things.
Yes, and the guy from Thelma. The grandson from Thelma was the other emperor.
You know what? He looks so familiar, and I couldn't figure out why. But also, if I hadn't seen the guy's name who was from Stranger Things, I wouldn't have recognized him just by looking at him.
Yeah, he got a haircut.
It's been a few years.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 2. Yeah. And then, of course, Denzel Washington is in this film.
Yes. Denzel Washington was great.
Yes.
Connie Nielsen?
I think so. Yes.
Great. That was good overall. It was one of those big cinematic, epic sort of productions. I thought Denzel did a great job. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him nominated for Best Supporting.
Yes. Yeah.
Although there was a point in the movie, which I'm not going to say when, but I think you probably know when, where I I laughed out loud. I made an audible laughing sound because it was just so surprising when it happened. But he did an amazing job. And I think Paul Mescal did a good job.
I thought he did a good job. I mean, it's very different from a couple of his other films. I thought overall everybody did pretty good. I was, in the beginning of this film, kind of does not like a flashback, but kind of like a story, like a voiceover and storytelling. And I was like, Ridley Scott last year was Napoleon, Please do not let this be this man's like Megalopolis or anything close to Napoleon. Now, Napoleon had its moments, but I think that, the anticipation with this, seeing all the actors, not really knowing what was going on, and then seeing the trailers for the last 3 months, 3+ months, has a lot of anticipation. And so, yeah, it didn't disappoint for me. What's interesting is I have not seen Gladiator 1. So for me, I was just like, okay, what's the tie-in here? Is this, maybe I will watch the first one, but I don't have the context. But I thought overall, in a film within itself, too, I thought it was great.
Interesting, because I did see Gladiator 1, but it was so long ago. How long has it been? 20 some?
20 plus years.
Yeah. So when they tell you kind of the backstory of and they show you the interactions of the boy with Russell Crowe's character, part of me was like, did that really happen in the first? I don't remember that.
No, it's like a rewatch of the first one. Yeah. Because you forget.
And how much of that is made up for this one to give the backstory credibility?
Yeah.
So yeah, there'll be spoilers, I guess. But in the last part where they're in the Colosseum and his mom is being carted in, were all of those senators involved in the because there were a lot of them down there. I was like, how many? That seems like too many. So
yeah.
You recognize a couple of them, but then the rest of them, you're like, where did those guys come from? Were they it all seemed to happen very quickly.
They're all in the background.
Yeah. You were able to rat out this conspiracy overnight, and then you identified this many people. It takes police departments now to rat out a conspiracy of 50 participants, years. These guys caved in less than 12 hours.
Maybe it was maybe as some people who, weren't part of it, but just the threat of you're implicated just by association, just to instill the fear of overtaking. So, yeah.
Denzel did a great job. But his wardrobe bothered me. The way he kept it was almost like everything was too big for him. Like there was too much material he was carrying around with him all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was just like,
well,
why
he
is
was
that?
accumulating like wealth, because he was betting, he had his gladiator, he was making these bets, and he was just like, it became like overabundance, which also was his downfall, because he was like, hey, I'm going to take this all over. So maybe that was like foreshadowing.
Sure, definitely. But when he first started, I was like, can this man not get a tailor? Or like, I just have one of his like people follow him around and carry his train for him, right? It's like a train, basically, that he had that he was thrown over his arm all the time. Let's go to the slides. So we were both at 27. So where do we
I really liked the hair and makeup in this film. I thought that they did a very good job. Like, I mean, for the most part, they had pretty modern haircuts. Like Pedro Pascal probably didn't do anything. Like Paul Mescal didn't do anything. He still has his like dime square like mullet. Denzel probably had like the best like crew cut that you could have. But then it was like the emperors were really like the powdered face, and the indicators of like wealth were good. For me, what took me out of my element, which is so funny, is like the secret door that Connie Nielsen's character would use, and then like her speaking freely. And it's like you know that there's people around to listen, which is ultimately the downfall. So it's just like, instead of, checking corners or checking to see who's there, right? There's always staff, there's always people around. And then she's freely talking about like these things with her husband. And it's like, wait, but you don't see how this is going to implicate you and put you in danger. I just thought that was very funny. It was just like, there are no closed doors, quite literally. It was like, caverns and little caves and things like that. And you're speaking freely about like what you're going to do to the leadership is, yeah.
Well, I will say I saw it in the IMAX fan event. So the early access. So on Thursday night of the weekend, it was coming out. And it was full. The only time everyone in the theater laughed out loud was when the servant, you see her come in and then she like backs up really quickly and everyone laughed.
I think I was laughing at that too. Because I was like, what? She knew. It was like, oh.
Yeah. So that was funny. And then there was another point where I laughed too. There was the one with Denzel towards the end. Then there was another point where I laughed and no one else laughed, but I just like, I couldn't help it. It seemed odd to me. I can't remember what it was now, but yeah, I thought they did a good job of pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not a ton of criticism.
Oh, I wonder if there's going to be like a third one. Like, where does it go from here? Did he unite, like these kingdoms, or, it's kind of like what's next now compared to like the beginning of the film.
Right. Yeah, it's a good question. I'm sure they're already trying to figure that out. Somebody is. Yeah. Do you have anything to plug in this episode?
There are a ton of movies.
Are you going to see Sonic?
Oh. Yes.
Okay.
I'm committed to that franchise.
What about The Order, the new Jude Law movie?
I don't think I've seen a trailer for that. I've seen Jude Law in a trailer for a Star Wars thing, but nothing like new.
I think it's Jude Law.
Okay. Rumors. It was the name of the movie.
That's right. Yeah, that's coming on. I'm 90% sure. What about The Return, the new Ralph Fiennes movie?
I don't think I've seen a trailer for that either. I feel like I've seen the Sonic 3 trailer multiple times, Nosferatu, the Wolfman.
Yeah, please. Oh, The End. That is a musical about this family. It looks like it's about this family that survives the apocalypse. Tilda Swinton is in this by living underground in an ice cave.
Oh, wow. No.
Yeah. And it's a musical.
And then there's I think Y2K comes out, which is a horror comedy about when the clock strikes 2020.
You're going to see that?
Probably.
All right. What about The Brutalist? The new Adrian Brody.
Oh, that one's a long one too, right? Like over 3 hours, but then it was on the festival circuit. Not sure yet.
Oh.
I actually need to see like an extended trailer of that.
Oh, and Paddington. There's another Paddington movie coming out.
There is. It's in January though, so
Room Next
we have
Door.
some time.
Also Tilda Swinton. New Almodovar.
More Tilda Swinton?
Yeah. So this came out, this was on the festival circuit, but it's Julianne Moore and Tilda Swinton in Almodovar movie.
Okay. I think I haven't seen a trailer for that, but I think I've seen them both talking about
and One of Them Days. The trailer for that looks hilarious.
Oh, yes, I've seen the trailer for that. I think that's a January film.
Oh. Okay. But that does look funny.
Yes.
Talk soon. Bye.
Talk soon. Bye.